Hey guys, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Baseball Stars 2 on the PlayStation 3. This is the arcade version, not to be confused with the NES version, which in my opinion is a better game, but not as pretty. This game runs on the Neo Geo arcade hardware, whatever you want to call it, whatever the hardware that the actual Neo Geo cartridge system ran on. I guess the CD system did too. Those cartridges were like $200+ when they were new. Put that in the inflation, that's almost like $400 for a short arcade game that's like meant to only be played for like maybe 10-15 minutes. That's insane, but for the dedicated person, I guess it's worth it. With the Neo Geo being collectible, the price never went down, but now they have PlayStation sales like they had with this game that I got for $2, running on hardware that you would not nearly pay as much for. It's pretty incredible. There was a S-Arcade arcade compilation. I'm not sure if this was on it or not. So anyway, I was a huge fan of Baseball Stars on the NES. I imagine there was a Baseball Stars arcade game too. This is actually the first time I've actually played the arcade game. I was always just aware of the NES games, and this is a great example of an arcade port when the actual console couldn't replicate what the Neo Geo did. Like, I don't think it was even until like maybe the PS2 days where you actually could replicate the sprite artwork that the Neo Geo could do like on a home console, because even the PS1, especially with the Capcom games, which weren't nearly as sprite intensive as the Neo Geo games, especially games like Metal Slug and stuff like that. Like, they had to make a lot of compromises and cuts in animation. I remember, like, the Street Fighter versus X-Men and Marvel versus Capcom, like, those crossovers like that. I think that's what they were. I believe there was a Street Fighter versus X-Men. There were so many of them. But anyway, they had to take the tag team feature out. The only time you could use the tag team feature on those PlayStation 1 games were if you picked basically two of the same characters on both sides, and then you could swap them. But I mean, it couldn't handle it. And to boot, I believe the sprites were a little bit smaller, and that they took out some of the animation. So to have this quality of a game on, say, the NES would be impossible, but the way they made up for it was they had a lot of groundbreaking features at the time, which were like create a player modes. I mean, basically you can adjust the stats and rename the characters, but still you pick your team and you could save everything like with the battery backup. Like, this was just a straight up arcade game, but the NES didn't have all the scaling. I also think the NES played better. Like, this is a pretty sorry video. I'm going to lose all the time. I do a little bit better job when I'm on the pitching side of the team, but as far as using the bat as being a hitter or whatever, like, I suck at it so bad because I can't quite figure out where the hitbox is to make contact with the ball. Watching the other people play, it seems like you have to swing the bat like right before it like, you know, where the, I guess, the grass stops and then there's the dirt or whatever you want to call it. I don't know all the baseball terminology. Where the home plate is, where the dirt is, like, you have to swing, it seems like, right when the ball gets to the dirt. Maybe if I paid attention more to the shadow, it makes sense. On the NES game, I was used to actually swinging the bat where it goes towards the home plate. And that's where you see me swinging out of habit and losing because of that. Because of the NES game, I could always just stare at the home plate and actually do a fairly halfway decent job. So I'm pretty pathetic at it. This is really only the third time I've ever played this game. I played it on and off. I got this game for like $2. The thing with the PlayStation Flash sales, which I guess are the equivalent of the Steam sales that they have go on sometimes if you only game on PC or whatever, where you get your games for ridiculously cheap. Well, it's the same thing. Unfortunately, with the PlayStation, like, you can't just buy a dollar game. You have to spend at least $5. So I got Baseball Stars, I got Toomba, which is a great PlayStation 1 game, and I believe I got Beyond Good and Evil, and then like a couple weeks later, I think PlayStation Plus program gave it out for free, which is fine. I love Beyond Good and Evil. I want to support that game, so I'm glad I gave them some money. Like, it's the second time I bought it. I actually bought it when it first came out. You can hear more about that game on the Beyond Good and Evil video. But, yeah, as far as sports games go, I don't really care for them all that much. I don't like sports in general. I know that sucks when meeting people, because a lot of times, like, when you're meeting, even like if you go on dates and stuff, you'll find out like a lot of these girls like got brought up on sports and stuff like that, especially if they went to a college or something like that, and you don't give a shit about sports. Sometimes that can be a deal breaker, and a lot of your friends talk about sports. Oh my gosh, I remember I used to go to work with this one guy, and he would literally get depressed when his team would lose. And I never understood it. I thought it, and it's just because I didn't understand. He wasn't a pathetic person, but I just thought it looked so pathetic. I've probably gotten upset over really pathetic things. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of something pathetic that I got upset about. I was like, maybe there was a game that got canceled that I was really upset about, but that kind of stuff never really bothered me. I keep on, the only thing that pops in my mind is crying about over like sad movies or getting teared up over it, which happens the older I get, I swear. I don't know if you saw that bubblegum commercial. One day I was like super emotional, and such a cheesy commercial, and I guess it made me think about my life. And at the time, like, there's this girl I really liked, and I thought it was gonna work out, and it didn't, and I don't know, and I got over it. Like, I'm glad that she's happy, at least as far as I know. Like, even when you're good friends with somebody, like that you at least try to be good friends with them, even if you have like romantic feelings, even if it was mutual on both sides, and it's just like you gotta back off, because I don't know, even if you don't want to back off, you kind of instinctually do it. I guess your mind kind of tries to protect you from a broken heart or whatever. But anyway, there's like this stupid gum commercial, and I don't know, it made me think about missing out on life or something. I mean, the commercial itself was like hokey or whatever, and I just got really emotional. It's like the song about like fools falling in love, and there's this awkward couple or whatever, and at the end the girl's like in the art gallery, and she's looking at like this portrait of this guy getting on one knee and proposing, and they hug, and I could give a shit less about the couple, but it's just like, am I gonna ever be able to experience like that feeling of being able to propose to somebody like I genuinely like? Sorry, had a brain fart there. Happens a lot. I guess you're used to it if you're a regular viewer of this channel. But yeah, no, I teared up over that. I guess that was pretty ridiculous, but I really liked this girl for a long time, and things were starting to work out, and just a lot of things just made it not work out, and it was just, I guess, kind of upsetting at the time. But you know, at the end of the day, everybody needs to find their happiness and find themselves and everything. And maybe I needed to do that, and maybe she was doing it too. So I guess things work out for whatever it is. But anyway, that's my little depressed, ridiculous, upset thing. But I never, anyway, I drifted off there. Probably revealed a little bit more than I should, but I didn't give any details away or anything like that. I was just trying to find a vulnerable moment that maybe somebody would think was pathetic if they heard it. But I remember this dude, he almost like would be in tears when his team lost. Like, he was part of the team. In a way, I was kind of envious. I was like, I wish I could get into something that much that I cared about. Maybe I wouldn't worry about, I don't know, relationships, girls, and friendships, and stuff of that much if I felt like I was part of like a team or something like that. So in a way, I was like, I didn't understand it. It seemed really pathetic, but I mean, I don't judge him or anything, but I was just like, that's crazy to watch a bunch of dudes chase a ball that I assume is made out of rubber at this point to appease everybody in the stands that are fans of pita. But it is pita, right? Even though that's also like pita bread. I don't know. PETA, like the people that show you like these horrible slaughterhouses, and they're probably one of the people that go in there and film it, and not trying to be all radical and breaking the chickens out of the cage, which I would never expect anybody to do. Sometimes they go overboard, like they attacked Super Mario and made like some stupid Flash game where he's like slaughtering all these animals because Mario uses a Tanuki suit that also turns into a statue. So, and he also grows and is able to smash bricks with his hands. So you know the game was obviously going for realism there. But I was never into sports, but I've always liked baseball games. Not so much the realistic ones. I think the closest baseball game was Triple Play. That was the most recent one that I really liked, and I think that the last time that came out was early PlayStation 2. They came out with a couple of them. So if you guys know like a contemporary arcade baseball game recommendation, I would love to know. I want to play this more so I figure it out, because it seems like a great game as soon as you figure out where like the hitboxes and stuff are. I was also a fan of NHL 94 in the Genesis, even though that was a simulation type of game at the time. I have a hockey game for the PlayStation 3 that I want to try out, try to recapture that feeling. Mutant League Hockey. Why haven't they made another one of those yet? EA, get on that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.
If you want to, like, comment, and subscribe! Thanks for watching!